What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. Happy Friday, people. Just sold your star to Mikel Arteta. Just sold your star to Mikel Arteta. Hey, and by the way, all the people in the comments saying, I reckon he'll be 5 minutes late. Bang on time today. What are you telling me, people? Bang on time. Hope you're all well on this Friday. And you know what? I can't wait for the football to come back now, man. Weekends with no football, it ain't right. I need pre-season back. Pre-season starts next week, and I'm looking forward to just seeing the players back in training and hopefully some of the new signings in. But yeah, exactly, man. On time, people. We're moving forward. We'll get there eventually, you know. Things are looking up. Arsenal's spending money. I need to start turning up on time, you know. But anyway, it's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. Just sold your star. Sorry, that song is just a banger. If they don't put that on the announcement video, I don't know. They won't do it because obviously it's bantering West Ham a little bit. But it is what it is. On time and new kit. Yeah, I had this new kit for a week or so. I can't lie, people. It's a banging training kit. I can't lie, man. I see somebody in the comments at the start. I missed the comment who put it, but I saw somebody saying they got the new home kit and they love it. Listen, I'm not going to cap. I think it's one of the best home kits we've had in years. Let's just hope we can do something good in it. That's the main thing. Big up, Snake Eyes. Can't wait to see you in the USA. Hopefully you can pick up all your gifts that I bought you. Hey, big up, bro. Let me know where you're going to be at. Obviously, I'll be on the whole tour. Chris, hey, just calm, my man. Calm down, man. Relax. He's a Man United fan, of course. He's saying Rice will be the next Harry Maguire. Just, yo, go easy, brother. It's Friday. The weekend's here. I know you lot are emotional and Harry Maguire and, yo, just let us enjoy ourselves, man. The brother ain't even signed properly for us yet. And let him go, man. He's not going to move like Harry Maguire at Arsenal. We know how to conduct ourselves. You season up the chicken. You know, make sure the rice is ready. You lot have got some mushy rice over there, you know. You got some rice pudding over there with Maguire. You know, just because you got a fridge at centre back. Yeah. The game is the game, though, Chris. I get it. You know, I get it. I'm with you. Yeah, the song's a banger, man. The song is a banger. Snake Eyes, you're going to be on the whole tour. Big up. Big up Ash repping the merch. I know he's got some merch as well. It is what it is, man. If Latte's in the chat, he said he'd get merch once we sign players, so I wonder if he's ordered anything yet. C-Unit Business, big up Latvian Guna. Are you going to the US with Robbie? I am, so link up with the community over there. Couscous over there, you know what I mean? We got rice, they got couscous, man. It ain't quite the same, is it? Big up Viju Jacob, who said, yo, Curtis, I remember watching your first show back when you had 2K subscribers. Here we are now, just getting started, almost 70K. Big up, listen, for the day ones and the people who it's their first day. You know, big up to everyone. The community is nothing. No, the channel is nothing without the community. There you go. But yeah, big up. I'm really thankful that you turn up here every day and support the channel. You know, big up people. You should design some merch. Would be fire. Yeah, we'll get some C-Unit merch soon. Don't you worry about it. Anyway, Nimbo said, you're part of the problem. Listen, maybe this extra training kit made them pay that 100 million. Maybe I'm part of the solution. They just didn't know it, you know. Big up Spiller, who's become a member of the channel. Member stream next week. Let's do one next week. Let's talk about all the big transfers that are going on and stuff like that. So we'll do a member stream next week. Let's get into today's show. Make sure you like the video, people. Subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you follow the TikTok account as well. I'll be doing a lot on TikTok on the tour because it's good for quick content and stuff like that. Anyway, let's talk about the main headline news of today's show, and that is regarding Dutch international defender Jurrien Timber. I was calling him Jurrien Timber, and then some guy who's from Holland, he messaged me and said it's Jurrien Timber. You know, like Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, if you remember them, man. It ain't Jan Vennegoor, it ain't Jurrien. He said it's Jurrien Timber. So I'm trying to get with the lingo. Ben Jacobs tweeted half an hour ago, Timber! The trees are falling, people. We're chopping down that Manchester City forest. Bang! We're licking down trees, people. No messing around. Now, this ain't the hoodie. It's a T-shirt. I got the T-shirt. It's too hot for the hoodie, bro. Ben Jacobs tweeted half an hour ago, there is now an agreement in principle in place for Timber to join Arsenal. Total package of just over £40 million. Hey, oh, I'm tired of using technology. ooh, she wants it. Ooh, ooh, she wants it. Ooh, yo, forgive me, people. Every time we say Timber, we end up with a Timberlake song at the end of it. I'm running out of songs, to be honest. And to be honest, my singing voice ain't quite ready for them high notes of Timberlake. But it's our thing, information and entertainment. Just go with it. It works. I announced it last night. Quick video. 36.5 million up front for Jurrien Timber. 4 million in add-ons. Total price £40.5 million for Jurrien Timber. It's believed he's going to do his medical this weekend. Listen, it's good news. Again, it's a top target that Arteta wants. And the club have got the deal done and got it done quickly. He's going to be on tour. I'm not sure whether any of these players will go to Germany. Because I know a lot of the players that were away for international duty a couple of weeks ago, you're supposed to get at least 3 weeks off as a minimum. And I'm pretty sure that takes them just about to that point. So they could go to Germany. But I think you will see all of these new signings in America for that tour. So a little bit more on this that I thought was a little bit interesting was from S.R. Collins this morning, who writes for the Standard. And he said, Jurrien Timber has pushed to join Arsenal. After being impressed by Mikel Arteta's project, Timber is expected to be used at right back, but he can play in the heart of defence if required. Now, that is very interesting because he actually plays more at centre-back, but we're going to play him at right back. Is he going to start straight away above Ben White? I'm not sure. Ben White costs 50 million. He's on good wages, expected to sign a new contract. Does he go straight in? But at the same time, he's spending 40 million quid. He's going to want first team football. The Euros are at the end of this season. Players are not going to want to risk sitting on the bench and risking their place in the national team. Surely you would think one of the first things that Timber would ask, am I going to be starting or am I coming into battle? Boyhood Arsenal fan people, they leaked the pictures of him when he was a kid wearing an Arsenal shirt, which is always good as well. I think the fans always take you to their heart a little bit more if they know you're a boyhood Arsenal fan. Doesn't mean much, but it means a little something. And Jurrien Timber will sign a 5-year contract, £90,000 a week. And it's going to be interesting. Like, as I was saying yesterday, we've now got fantastic squad depth in defence. You look at left back Zinchenko Tierney, you look at right back Ben White, Timber, Tomiyasu, you look at centre back Gabriel, Saliba, Kivior, Timber can play there, Ben White can play there. We are solid in defence. We are rock solid in defence. We need that same level of quality and depth around midfield and in that front line as well. So, yeah, good news for Arsenal. Medical should be this weekend. 5-year deal, £90,000 a week. Jurrien Timber, boyhood Arsenal fan, was being chased by Bayern Munich, was being chased by Manchester United last season. He will join Arsenal. Very good news for Arsenal. I would imagine he will be announced probably before Declan Rice. So I would expect him to be the second signing through the door after Kai Havertz, who I still can't quite believe Kai Havertz is an Arsenal player, but we'll figure that out as we go, people. South London's fine. It's been a long time since we had a Dutch player in our team. Who would have actually been the last Dutch player that played for Arsenal? I honestly can't think. You know, when I say Dutch and Arsenal, automatically I think of Overmars and Bergkamp. I honestly can't think. Van Persie, yeah, the snake. Sorry, we forget about him. But yeah, Van Persie, of course. So we have had some quality Dutch players, to be fair. Van Persie, Bergkamp, Mark Overmars. Yeah, we've had some real quality from Holland. If he's anywhere near any of those levels, we'll certainly excel. Oh, Van Bronckhorst was solid as well. So we have had some good Dutch players. So, yeah, man, we'll have to see with that one. Big up Mr. Cool Bus Driver. Large up yourself, brother. Big up the chat. Big up, bro. Hopefully you'll be in the member stream next week. J-Mo said it's going down. I'm yelling, Timber, you better move, you better dance. Pitbull settings, people, I'm telling you. It's always worth a song. Big up J-Mo78. And B Dizzle said, Lavia is good enough to replace... Is he good enough to replace Thomas Partey? It is risky. As I've said many times, for me, if you let Thomas Partey leave... You've got to sign a top quality player. And Lavia has top quality potential. He's not established yet. So I wouldn't like to see Partey sold and Lavia be the replacement. If you're letting Partey go, I think you've got to get a more established player. If you keep Partey, I think you add Lavia to it. And then you say, right, Jorginho, Lavia, Rice, Partey, that's a quality four. So it would be risky. But as I keep saying, man, the Partey thing seems complicated. Ruben said, don't lie, Curtis, you got Havertz 29 kit. Yeah, we're a long way from that point, I'm telling you. We need to start selling players. Financial fair play will be on our backs. I think we will sell and probably give some of them away. Amo said you cannot sell Partey. I agree, unless they know something we don't. Elliot, for the member stream, get yourself in here next week. I'm sure you'll have new Arsenal merch as well. And Amo said only sell Partey if we are getting Caicedo, who is in talks to join Chelsea. Abdul Ghaffar still couldn't join the member stream. Look out for the community page. I upload it around 15-20 minutes before the stream starts. So you should be able to join and just click the link. Anyway, big up Dre in the chat as well. Hope you are, my bro. Hopefully I'll see a lot of you on the tour. I'm hoping a lot of you will be over there. And I'll keep you updated with where we'll be at and stuff. Hit44 said, is it true what Turkish said that Partey is looking to leave? Arsenal want him to stay. Do we question his mentality? I don't know where his link comes from. It might be from Robbie. I know Robbie was saying the other day that he's heard from within the club that the Partey sale is coming more from the player agitating to leave rather than the club. He's got 2 years left on his deal. And you know, maybe he wants out of England. Maybe he's looking at it and probably saying, he's had injury problems, go to a slower league and go somewhere a little bit easier and collect the dough. I don't know, but that's what we heard anyway, that it's Partey who's more pushing for the move than Arsenal looking to sell him. Alexander said, big up Big C, do you reckon we'll go quiet after completing these 3 deals? We have a lot of players to offload. What was interesting yesterday was Fabrizio Romano did a video on his channel yesterday, and he said that Arsenal are still looking to sign more players once these 3 players come through the door. I do think we're going to have to sell players. Today is the 30th of June. Today is the end of contracts in Premier League football. Contracts end today. Ainsley Maitland-Niles leaves the club today on a free. We know that. He's gone. Pablo Mari will leave today as well. He will join the team over there in Serie A, so he will go. Players like Wilfried Zaha, David De Gea, they will all be out of contract by tomorrow morning. So the likes of Pepe, Cedric, Austin Trusty, Renarsson, Balogun, Marquinhos, Charlie Patino, all of these guys, Tavares, Lokonga, by midnight tonight, their wages becomes Arsenal's problem. Now, that means Edu's going to have to get moving. When you think to yourself that, Pepe's on 130 grand a week, Cedric 70, Lokonga's on about 50, Tavares on about 50. The wage bill by tomorrow morning, all of a sudden, will probably go up £400,000 a week. Edu will have to get rid of players over the next couple of weeks. So I would expect to see movement very quickly, because you look at the players we're buying. Havertz on 200 grand a week. Declan Rice will be over 200 grand a week. And Timber's at 90 grand a week. So you're looking at nearly £500,000 there. So I expect to see movement. I think players will be sold in the next week or so. But I do think we will sign more players. I really do. Everything must go, people. You buy Tavares, you get Lokonga free. I said you buy Tavares, you get Lokonga absolutely free. Reece Nelson as well. Yeah, he hasn't officially been announced, has he? But I wonder if he's put pen to paper. What you got to understand sometimes within football clubs, I've signed a new contract before where you sign a new contract and they just put it in the drawer and leave it. They'll pay you, it's in effect, but they don't announce it. They want to announce it at certain times and, so all those kind of things that happen. David said, I'm literally ordering the training kit right now. I blame you. Listen, I can't lie. I had no intention of buying it. I saw it and I was like, yo, I'm weak. I'm sorry, I was weak. I had to buy it. So enjoy, man. This one's a little more loose fitted than the home shirt. The home shirt's quite, You know, fitted. This is a little more loose fitted if you're thinking about sizes. Red Label Sale, TK Maxx. Come and have a look. £1 fish. Sambila Congo, £1 fish. Nuno Tavares, very, very cheap. You can get them as cheap as you want, people. E-Ross said, big up my brothers Elliot and Dre. Big up community. Big up to everyone in the chat. Very cheap. McLovin said, Arsenal don't like making money off their own players. We'll probably pay them to leave, bro. It is what it is. B Dizzle said Onana instead of Lavia if Thomas Partey goes. He is a beast. We were linked with him the other day as well. Let's move on. Let's move on, people. It would not be a summer transfer window show without me talking about Declan Rice until he's holding up the shirt. And even after that, we'll probably still be talking about him. There's two bits of news today. One is a little bit concerning, but nothing to worry about. Calm, everyone relax, calm down. There's no problem. There was a report today that there's a little bit of a delay. The clubs are still discussing the payment plan. Klarna business, layaway business. The deal will still get done, but there is a slight hiccup in this deal. They still want 2 years. They're not budging. They're saying there's no compromise. Pay the whole fee in 2 years or hit the road. Arsenal still trying to say 4 years. Apparently Arsenal willing to do 3 years. Surely Arsenal would not walk away from the table. We're wanting to pay it over 3. They want it over 2. You're going to have to pay it over 2. It's just the reality of the situation. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to panic anyone in the chat. I genuinely believe this deal's going to happen. You know, Sold Your Star to Mikel Arteta. We'll be singing that and all of that, people. But let me tell you something now before anything goes wrong, which hopefully it doesn't. You see, I got to go full screen. Let me tell you something now, people. You see if this deal does not happen. You see the meltdown you're going to see on this channel. I'm telling you now, they may have to ban me from YouTube. Listen, if that brother overcooks the rice, but I think we're all right. I'm not trying to panic anyone. I believe it's happening. It's just negotiation. The offer is so big that it is going to take negotiation. So, listen, just calm down. But anyway, the story that came out today, anyway, was that Declan Rice has already chosen the number 41 shirt at Arsenal. That's according to TalkSport. They're saying talks are relaxed. No one else is at the table. We're good. We're good to go. But don't burn the rice. You know what I'm saying? Don't mash up the rice. Declan Rice has wore 41 since his youth team days. Obviously, when you come through at a club and you're a youth team player and you get in the first team, you tend not to get a decent number, as all the first team players have already got them. He wore 41 and he's wore that ever since he's been in the West Ham first team. Apparently, he's asked for the 41 shirt at Arsenal, and they have said he can have it. So, Havertz 29, Declan Rice 41. The high numbers, people. It's all changed now. So, nothing to worry about. Fabrizio Romano put out a report this morning saying that Declan Rice is so excited to join Arsenal. He's coming back from holiday on Saturday, and it looks as if this deal will be announced early next week. I think what Arsenal have done is said, you know, with Kai Havertz, they flew over to Marbella to get the deal done. And the announcement video was not that great, was it? I think with this one, they're going to try and go all out. You know, it's the biggest transfer that we've ever done. Probably be a while before we break that transfer as well. So they're going to go all out with the announcement video. So 41 is the inverted 14. Yeah, it's the flipped around Thierry Henry number. He's the true 14 of Arsenal, not Eddie Nketiah. That is for sure. No disrespect, Eddie. Well, I suppose there is some disrespect, Eddie, but you know what I'm saying, people. It's in West Ham's best interest to sort it out quickly because they need a replacement. You're spot on, South London's finest. Window's been open a couple weeks now. It's July tomorrow. Pre-season starts next week. The last thing they need is Declan Rice turning up at pre-season training at West Ham when you know that this guy's going to leave the club. That's bad for them. So I totally agree with you. They need to go and sign replacements. Apparently they're in advanced negotiations to sign Dennis Zakaria from Juventus, who was at Chelsea last season. They're also in talks with Harvey Barnes from Leicester, so they're already planning on buying players. Big up Black, who's gifted 5 memberships to the community. Really appreciate that, bro. Always good to get more members in the community and in the member stream, so big up to Black. Is automatically handed out, because some people say, how come I never get gifted one? It's automatic. So big up to Black for handing out 5 memberships. Really appreciate it, and welcome to the new members. I reckon Arsenal are delaying it because of the financial year restarting on the 1st of July, says TBG. That's a great point. That is a really good point, which apparently was why Chelsea were so eager to sell Mason Mount before July the 1st. Bleckin Nice gifted membership, says Eros. Best announcement video was Aubameyang. That's the goated announcement video. I don't think we've ever beaten that announcement video at Arsenal Football Club so far. That is by far the best one. Curtis, can we have some positive Arteta jokes? I remember the waffle days. I mean, I don't really have Arteta jokes, but just the fact that I'm not disrespecting him, I think is a massive step in the right direction, you know? So Declan Rice looks as if he's going to be the number 41 at Arsenal. And listen, I think that one will be announced at the start of next week. So sit tight with that one. As I said, don't panic. I don't think anything will collapse with that one. I've got to admit that I wish when we signed Aubameyang, I had a YouTube channel, because he was a player that I was so excited when we signed him. I remember being so disappointed that Alexis was going to Man United, but Aubameyang, I just always felt he was going to be a hit at Arsenal. I wanted us to sign him when we actually had Alexis Sanchez, which was a shame. But 2.7k in the chat. Make sure you smash up the like button, caress it, smash it, punch it, do whatever you need to do. Just make sure it gets clipped on the way out, people. Just barge it on the way out. You know how it goes. Declan Rice, number 41 for the merch lovers. I do like a bit of merch, but I'm not one for printing names on the back. I can't lie. I don't know if it's a thing as you get a bit older. I remember when I was younger, I had Ian Wright on a shirt. I had Thierry Henry. I had Cesc Fabregas. I had Alexis Sanchez. And I learnt some harsh lessons there. So, you know, I remember Alexis going to Man U, and then Fabregas ending up at Chelsea, man. They were some painful times when you've got a name printed on the back of the shirt. I did not wear them shirts again, let me tell you. Big up Black again. He's handed out another 5 memberships to the community. Community man indeed, Black. Big up yourself. It helps the channel, and thank you very much to you, and welcome to the people who get the new memberships in the chat. Always appreciate it, Black. Black, the community man, of course. Let's move on. Lots to talk about today, people. On this Friday, we've spoken about Timber. We've spoken about Declan Rice and Peas. And let's talk about another player potentially joining Arsenal. Now, I've said many times, I would sign this guy, but I don't see how we sign him. I don't see where he plays if we do sign him. But according to reports coming out of Holland this morning, if Xavi Simons doesn't join Arsenal right now, he's likely to do so in the future. Arsenal might be okay with him staying in Holland for another year. Basically, what's happened? 2 things have happened over the last few weeks. Number one is that Xavi Simons has rejected a move back to PSG. PSG had this unbelievable buyback clause where they could get him for £5.1 million, 6 million euros for Xavi Simons, but it was still the player's decision whether he went there or not. Now, PSG have activated the clause. Even if they don't want him, it would make sense for PSG to buy him back for 5.1 million and sell him straight away and make a profit. Now, Xavi Simons, 20 years of age, a wonder kid of a player, Dutch international. He went to the World Cup with Holland. He's just had the season. 19 league goals, 8 assists, playing in the number 10 role and in the false 9 role. For me, he's a wonder kid. For me, he's a fantastic young player. A little bit lightweight, but let's be honest, he absolutely tore Arsenal to bits. Everybody was watching that PSV game thinking, Cody Gakpo. This is the guy. And Gakpo's done all right. At Liverpool, and I think there's potential. But this boy was the standout player of that game. He was absolutely fantastic. It's believed they want around £35 million for Xavi Simons to do a deal, and it's believed he is willing to leave the club. Now, the problem you've got with him, his best role really is either in the 10 role or in the false 9 role. How do you get him to Arsenal? How do you get him game time? You've got Havertz, who's going to play attacking midfield. You've got Odegaard. You've also got Fabio. Now, could you shift Fabio? Could you swap him? You know, would Fabio go to PSV? I'm not sure. He's a very talented player and a player that I would personally love to see Arsenal go for, because I think he's got huge potential and I think he's got a lot more to offer than Fabio's got at the moment in this Arsenal team. So it's an interesting one, but will they go for him? Will they go for him? Now, the second part, what I was saying, is that he changed agents, and his agent is now Darren Dean, who is the son of former Arsenal sporting director David Dean, a very, very good agent, and of course, you know, great links to Arsenal. And it's believed Darren Dean has been trying to get Xavi Simons to come to Arsenal. He obviously rates him very highly, and he feels that he's somebody that Arsenal should go for. Would you make a move for him at £35 million? Personally, I would, and I would probably shift Fabio and bring him in. But whether Arsenal will look to do that, we've got a lot of attacking midfielders at the moment. Would they go for it? Do they think the money needs to be spent elsewhere, people? For sure, 100%. Hell yes. Unlucky for Fabio. I wanted it to work out, but guess not. Listen, I'm saying this, but I think Fabio will be at Arsenal next season. I don't think there's any way that they're going to sell him. I think they'll give him one more year before they look to make a move on him. So I would shift him, but I personally think Arsenal will keep Fabio for another season. They invested 35 million in him. He didn't get a full pre-season and all of that stuff. So yeah, I expect Fabio to be at the club next season. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, you know. Who signed Fabio? I mean, it was Arteta and Edu, wasn't it, I suppose? Xavi Simons is a no-brainer for around 30 million. Yeah, Fabrizio tweeted about when Erie's staying. We did speak about that yesterday. It's not really headline news, so I'm not going too much into detail with that one. Fabio versus Sporting was one of the worst performances I've seen. You know, when a player comes in, and people were saying, you know, this guy Henry struggled when he first signed, this, that, the other. I believe that all of the players that started slow at Arsenal, you could always see something. You could see a little something in players, even when they've struggled. I just don't see enough in Fabio. He looks weak, he looks lightweight, gives up possession too easily. Yeah, he scored a great goal against Brentford, but I can't talk about that for 12 months. I've got to see more from him if he's at the club next season. That is for sure, people. Anyway, another transfer link that we are being linked with is Everton midfielder Amadou Onana. We were linked with him back in January. Yeah, the ball striking, yeah, but how many times has he done that? He scored one really good goal. You know, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Like, it isn't like he's done it 5 times. He's done it once. So, but he'll get another season regardless of what I say or what I think. But he needs to step up. One thing we can all agree on, whether you like Fabio or not, he has to do better this season. Amadou Onana being linked with a move to Arsenal today. Everton looking for around £45 million for the Belgium international. Everton have a little bit of financial difficulty at the moment. They're moving into a new stadium, and they're looking to recruit some cash. And Onana is somebody that is potentially looking for a move. 21 years of age, 6'4". He's a beast. He destroyed our midfield at Goodison Park. I personally, I have 2 issues. Well, one issue with Onana and what I do rate. What I do rate about him, he's massive. He's a beast. He's very strong. He can drive through midfield. My problem with him is in a possession-based team, which Arsenal are, how good is he in possession? I remember for years, people always used to hype up Wilfred Ndidi at Leicester. And you saw as the years went on, as Leicester tried to get a little bit more technical rather than hitting teams on the break, Wilfred Ndidi is absolute bang average on the ball. I'm not sure with Onana. 21 years of age. I mean, I like what he's good at. I don't like what he's not good at. So I don't know. If we kept Partey, signed Rice, kept Jorginho, got rid of El Neni, and you brought him in for 45 million, and that was our 4, I would be happy with it. I would be happy with it because he's 21. And there's a lot of potential for him to improve at the age of 21. But I do have concerns about him in possession. I don't know if I haven't watched him enough. Let's put it on the screen. Amadou Onana from Everton, £45 million. Would you take him? Listen, it depends on the circumstances. I possibly would because he is a beast, but I do worry about his quality on the ball. I watched a few Everton games towards the end of the back of last season. I thought he was a little bit average on the ball, but as someone said, he's a bruiser. Away at the Etihad when, De Bruyne's running rings around us, and at Anfield when we're being swarmed, sometimes maybe you need someone like that who just breaks people down. And he did it to us, let's be honest. And I don't think he's terrible on the ball. I just think he's average on the ball. McLovin said Onana receiving the ball in the half space is comedy. Maybe you've got to get him a little bit higher up the pitch. I like Lavia more. I think Lavia looks technically a little bit more gifted. And he's younger. So I would probably go for Lavia ahead of him. But I wouldn't be upset if we got him. 21 and he's a tank. Tchouaméni, then Caicedo, then Lavia, then Onana in that order. And listen, I suppose the difference is that Tchouaméni and Caicedo would cost you 80-odd million, where Lavia and Onana are going to cost you 40-odd million. It seems there's more teams that are chasing Lavia. That's probably why it's harder to get him. Liverpool are interested. Chelsea are interested. Where Onana seems to be a bit of a free hit now. Teams aren't even really in for him. Bleck said, big up the C-Unit community. Big up yourself, bro, for gifting them 10 memberships. Really appreciate it and welcome to the new members. Big up Red Smoke, who's a member. Make sure you're in the member stream next week. I'll let you know regarding days and times. And big up A, who said, still no forwards linked. Who would you sign realistically? I mean, listen, I know I shouldn't even say it because you said realistically, but I want Osimhen. And I know what you're all thinking. We've just spent £200 million. We can't get Osimhen, but I'm sorry, it's the obvious one. I think we need a striker. Now, we're not going to do it. They want 150 million euros, 120, 130 million pounds. It's not going to happen. I'm just putting it out there. You're asking me who I would want. Me personally, I'll tell you the 3 strikers that I would want. And some of you will say they're not realistic, which I understand. The three strikers that I would want, Victor Osimhen, because I'm being honest, if we put the money down, he would join us. Apparently, he loves Arsenal. The second one would be Ivan Toney. You've got to wait 6 months, but honestly, I would take the chance. I would honestly take the chance because we would still probably be in the title race by January and then he would still get involved. And who was my third one? My mind's actually gone blank now. Who was the third one I was thinking? I was just thinking Osimhen, Ivan Toney. Some people saying Vlahovic in the comment. I'm still not sure with Vlahovic. Hasn't really impressed me. I'd love to see us go for... Imagine if we were at Harry Kane. That would be a good one. That would be a brilliant one. Kane and Mbappe, well, them two are dream levels, I suppose. But, do you know what? I was saying yesterday on the DR show that Harry Kane, if he runs down his contract and he's a free agent next summer, Arsenal should be offering him a contract. I'm not even joking. Harry Kane out of contract, we should be offering him 300 grand a week for 2 or 3 years and say, listen, deep down, we know you're a boyhood Arsenal fan. Come to Arsenal. I would genuinely think that we should be. People saying it was Zaha. Nimbo always saying it's Zaha. He's out of contract tomorrow. Wilf, he's a free. Kane loves Arsenal. He's a boyhood Arsenal fan, man. Ramos from Benfica, I like him. I do like him. Man United being linked with him. I think there's an £80 million release clause in his contract. Lautaro Martinez, I am very much anti Lautaro Martinez. I do not rate him. He's good in Serie A, but I don't rate him. Evan Ferguson's a good player. I like him. But honestly, we should be making an offer to Harry Kane on a free all day long. He's the type of player, Kane. He's like Benzema. His game's not built on pace. He will still be a top player when he's 35. Harry Kane, in my opinion. I think you could easily give him a 4-year deal at 30, 31 and have no problem. We should be offering Kane 300 grand a week next season to come to Arsenal. No joke. And see what he says. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about players going out. People saying Mitrovic, Muani. Muani's expensive. Mitrovic, I think you could get for a reasonable price. Kane or Zaha, boyhood gooners. Says Tamim. Yeah, they are. That is for sure. Let's talk about players potentially leaving. And I need to end that poll, by the way. 53% of you say no to Amadou Onana. 47% say yes. Is Mawani going for 60 million? I thought they wanted more than that for him, but that's not a bad price. Let's talk about players potentially leaving. Let's talk about the dog. Who? Nuno Tavares. Who let the dogs out? Who? Because the thing what you got to understand, if we don't get some of these players sold, Arsenal sort of have an obligation to keep these guys fit. And then you've got to take these guys on tour and play them. So it's in Arsenal's best interest to get these deals tied up quickly and get rid of Tavares. Very interesting. A team that we're obviously doing business with at the moment, West Ham. Just sold you a star to Mikel Arteta. Just sold you a star who likes to go and bark. I don't know. I'm trying to get a remix. He's not a star either, but no, let me not disrespect Nuno like that. But West Ham are interested in signing Nuno Tavares and are the team showing the most concrete interest right now. Arsenal have spoken to several other Premier League clubs and Galatasaray also like the player. 8 million they want to offer, which it's interesting, isn't it? They want 105 million, 2 installments, and we're talking about 8 million. Listen, we have got to improve when it comes to player sales. Do I rate Nuno Tavares? Not really, but he plays for Portugal under 21s. He's coming from Arsenal. He still has some sort of potential going forward. Look how well he was doing for Marseille at the start of the season. We should be getting 15 million for him without even thinking about it. If we're a serious team. You know, you look at Chelsea, the way they do business when they're selling players. You look at Liverpool. Liverpool get 20 million for Solanke. He wasn't even in the first team. I don't understand. I don't rate Nuno, but I don't understand how you're getting £8 million for him. How you're letting West Ham, when we're about to give them 105 million, how you are going to allow them to come back and offer £8 million for a Portuguese under-21 left wing-back. He was actually, until about January, playing very well as a left wing-back for Marseille. Make no mistake about it. In the Champions League, he was scoring goals. There's no way on earth he's worth £8 million. Especially with the inflation in the modern market. Big up Kabir, man. Always appreciate he pins all of the goals in the watch-alongs. McLovin said they got 11 million for Lavia when he was in the academy. Exactly. You know what I mean? And we're getting 8 million for an established under-21 international. Listen, I got no problem. And the problem that we've got is that clubs know Arsenal need to sell these guys. So under normal circumstances, you should get 15 because they know our wage bill's sky high. we're going to end up selling these guys for cheap. So we paid about 7-8 million for him. They're probably just happy to get their money back. So it's a shame. I think Arsenal should put a sell-on clause in there just in case he ever becomes a top player. You want a 20% sell-on clause on there as well. So, yeah, we definitely have to improve in that area. George G said, the watch-along, I already missed those times. Don't worry, man, they soon land. LSU said, sorry to be late. I slept on my day off. Big up to the community. Big up to you, bro. You got to get that sleep in. A said, no, I read that one. Still no forwards linked. Carl said Harry Kane was your third choice. Yeah, Harry Kane. We'll go with that. Sol Campbell 2.0. Honestly, no joke. Out of contract next summer. Put that contract down on the table. 300 grand a week. Stay in North London. You don't even have to move house. Kane should be a massive offer on a free. Brighton will want 100 million for Ferguson. I like Ferguson. I think he needs a few more goals this season, and then I think clubs will really start going for him. He reminds me a little bit of a young Wayne Rooney. Big up Sashiv, man. Thanks for having me on the DR Sports call-in. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate your support. Well spoken on there as well. And, yeah, appreciate you being a part of the community. So, Nuno Tavares, people, £8 million. Looks like he's on his way out. And, listen, you're going to see a fire sale at Arsenal over the next few weeks. As I said, Lokonga being linked with a move to Burnley on loan. Former manager Vincent Kompany. You've got Rob Holding being linked with Besiktas. You've got Tavares being linked with West Ham. Patino wants out. So I think you are going to see movement. I think Granit Xhaka will leave once you see Declan Rice announced. Don said, Curtis, I see us going unbeaten next season. You know what? I had to click on that just in case it ever happens and we can come back to it. Daniel said, hear me out, CR7. What are you saying? Get Cristiano Ronaldo on loan for a year. I don't think that one's going to happen. Curtis saw reports our wage bill is 150 million less than 2019. I saw something similar. Obviously with Aubameyang and Ozil and players like that who are on 300 grand plus, the wage bill is a lot lower. Let's talk about another player that we're going to hear about over the next few days, and that is Folarin Balogun. Now, he put up a timer and said, it is time. I believe he did that last night or early hours of this morning. And according to his location, he's back in London. Now, it's believed that as soon as he got back to London, he was going to have a meeting with Arsenal regarding his future. Now, Paul Brown put out a report this morning saying Arsenal believe they have a real gem in Folarin Balogun, but the striker wants to become part of the first team setup at the Emirates Stadium. But as it is, as quite often with players, he's had a taste of first-team football, done well in France. He thinks it's now time to be in the team, and you can't blame him. I just think with this one, and I could be totally off the mark here, I don't see how you can't say to Balogun, listen, I'm going to sell Eddie Nketiah. I'm going to play Havertz in the advanced, attacking midfield role. So my two strikers are going to be Gabriel Jesus and Folarin Balogun. Now, Jesus was out for 3 months last year and he scored 11 league goals. We're in the Champions League, we're in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League. We'll play 60 games this year. You and him will go head to head. You are going to get lots of first team football. You will start games. You will come off the bench sometimes. Maybe both of you can even start the odd time. You give him a new contract. You give him that 100 grand that you've given to Eddie, that you've given to Reece Nelson. And I don't understand why he's a boyhood Arsenal fan. He's a London boy. We've got American owners. He's in the American team. Surely it's a no-brainer for everybody to sit round the table and agree to those circumstances. Now, you've got two problems. Number one, is Arteta prepared to sell Eddie Nketiah? Because for whatever reason, he loves him. He gave him a 5-year deal on 100 grand and the number 14, which I still don't understand. Is he willing to sell Eddie? And number two, is Balogun even rejecting those circumstances? Maybe Balogun's saying, that's not good enough for me. I want guaranteed starts, And if he is saying that, then unfortunately, as much as I want Balogun to stay, then you've got to sell him. If he's not prepared to accept them circumstances I've just said. Eddie is Arteta's son, stepchild settings, I hear you. And we don't quite understand why, but they've either got to put their arm around him and convince him he's going to get an opportunity and give him a solid new contract, or they've got to sell him. Surely, if you're Stan Kroenke, just from a purely business point of view, why would you want to let Balogun leave the football club when this guy is possibly going to start up front for America in the World Cup in America? You know, we could actually have America's goalkeeper and striker playing up front for America in the World Cup in America. From a business point of view, that is fantastic business for the Kroenkes. So why would they want to let him go? But it's not down to them ultimately. If he wants out, then he wants out. Eddie wouldn't start for any other Premier League club. We need to raise the level. I think as well, Ian, Balogun has got 2 years left on his contract. Is it worth just saying, even if he wants out, just saying, listen, you've got 2 years left. We're going to keep you for a year. We'll prove to you. You've got 2 years left. It's not down to you whether you leave. You've got 2 years left. We're going to keep you for 1 more year. And we'll see if it works out. Now, the problem you've got is there's a lot of hype around him now because he's had a very good season in France. His price is going to be higher now than it would be in a year if we're not playing him. But I would like to keep him for a year and see how he does. Like Veer said, definitely take him pre-season to Germany and America and see how he fits in with the group. He might not be as good as we think. Let's be honest, a lot of us rate Balogun, but this is the French league. Lacazette just was second top goal scorer in the French league. He got 4 goals at Arsenal. He got 25 goals in France. Maybe that French league is not as good as we think. So ultimately, we need to see what Balogun is about. Balogun might even believe in his head that he can score more goals than Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus got 11 goals last season. Balogun got 21. I know it's different leagues, different levels, but he might look at it and say, you know what, I'm a more natural goal scorer than him. I can score more than him. I like his attitude. A lot of people are criticising Balogun. He's too outspoken. He's demanding first team football. I got no problem with that. I would rather have a player at Arsenal that is demanding, I want to play, I want to be a top player, than a player that sits there on the bench year after year, picking up his money, contributing very little. I have no problem with the Balogun attitude. I have more of a problem with El Neni and Rob Holding and players like that who just sit there and happy not to play football. So I got no problem with Balogun. But let's see. For me, as a bare minimum, you've got to take him on tour and have a look and see if he's at the level. Young Gunner said, Curtis, who would you realistically sign as competition for Saka? Personally, I'd take Leon Bailey or Gnabry. DRB is rapid. I'd love to see us go and get Serge Gnabry. Rumours that he could leave this summer. So yeah, Gnabry would be the one for me. Arteta kills striker, says Hendon Gunnar. As of yet, we haven't really seen a striker thrive under Arteta. Probably the first 6 months, Hobber did well, but was he just picking up the pieces of Emery there? Yeah, that's the issue. But we need to see if he can change that. No more smiles. We need hunger. I'm all about that. I am. Cody Mystified said Arteta kills strikers. Arteta needs a false 9. Get Zaha for Saka, said Sylvan. You know my thoughts on that. Get him in. He's a free transfer from midnight. Cliffo said selling for 40 million is massive for Arsenal because we don't sell. Put in a buyback clause. Now, that is the issue. And you're spot on there, Cliff. I said this the other day that with Arsenal buying Timber, Rice, Havertz, Fabrizio confirming that we're looking for 1 or 2 more, we're going to spend probably over 250 million. I think Arsenal will sell somebody for a substantial amount this summer. Whether that's Kieran Tierney, whether that's Balogun, you know, I think somebody that's worth 30, 40 million will get sold just to balance them books. Unfortunately, it probably will be Balogun, unfortunately. I want my boy Gnabry back, said Highbury's local badger. Eros said weekly Wilf. I think Wilf's going to go to Saudi from what I've heard. I think he's going to go and get paid. Ab said sold your star to Mikel Arteta. You sold your star. Yo, West Ham Arsenal are going to end up with a rivalry now. Abdullah said go to the Spurs owner with 120 million. He will give you Harry. He's the best striker available right now. He makes us title favourites. I don't think Daniel Levy would sell Harry Kane for even 150 million to Arsenal. I honestly don't. He would rather sell him to Bayern Munich for probably 75 million than sell Kane to Arsenal for 120. I would love Arsenal to sign Harry Kane. Harry Kane would make us favourites. I agree with you. Well, equal favourites possibly with City. Kane would score 30 goals plus for Arsenal. We create more than Tottenham, and he scored 30 goals for them last season. Big up Max Good. Thank you very much, who's given 5 memberships to the community. Really appreciate that. And welcome to the 5 new members who will get that. Big up to man like Maximum. Alan St. Maximum. But big up to you, bro. Big up Godnat, who said, with Harry Kane, we'd win the Champions League. Honestly, it's crazy to think, innit, that I know we criticise Kane. He plays for them lot. But if we got Kane to Arsenal, I would honestly sit here and say, I think we could win the league this year. I think we'll seriously challenge. Can you imagine Saka, Martinelli and Harry Kane as a front three? Oh my days. Both your wingers are getting 15 each. Your strikers getting 30. I mean, I've said it earlier in the show, and I'm genuinely not joking. If Kane sees out that contract at Tottenham, we should be offering a contract to Harry Kane next season of 350 grand a week. I'm not capping. I'm not joking. Everybody's going to try and sign him. If Mbappe goes to Madrid, then that's Madrid out of the race. And I think he wants to stay in the Prem. City have got Haaland. If we're the closest team to City, there is no excuse. We should be offering 350 grand, even 400 grand a week. Honestly, I'm not, because you're getting him on a free. You're talking about a £100 million footballer. I'd offer him 500 grand a week. He would win us the title, in my opinion. I'm not talking about now when you've got to pay a transfer fee. I'm talking about next summer when he's out of contract. Why would Arsenal not make him an offer? I don't understand it. You've got nothing to lose, but maybe I'm dreaming, you know? Big up Brett Jeffers for becoming a member as well. Really appreciate that. But yeah. It's that, them fine lines in it, you know. If you get a striker of that level, which is why I'm saying, I think Arsenal should be trying to sign Osimhen. And I know people will go, there's no way you can spend that kind of money. But I think we should be trying to get a deal done for him. If you put Osimhen up front, we've got a chance of winning the league. I still just think we're lacking one player in that attack to get us over that finish line and outdo that Man City team, because they can outscore us. Because sometimes you have them days where when you watch teams, it's not quite happening for the wingers, and you need that striker, because that's what strikers do. They live and breathe goals. You've watched City a lot of games this year where they're not amazing, and all of a sudden, bang, Haaland, tapping, Haaland, he does it all the time. I still don't feel like we have that. Do we have enough games where it's 1-1, we're struggling, and Jesus scores the winner? We don't quite have that. He does a lot of other work around the pitch. So for me, Osimhen and Harry Kane, I know it may seem a little bit too much, but I think that's the level we need to be aiming for if we're going to catch this Man City team. Now, Ivan Toney would have been great, and he would have been half the price of an Osimhen, but for obvious reasons, he's out the equation. I would love to see if Arsenal go for him in January. But we'll see. We'll see. Haaland, dun 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 dun. Ha 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 ha. You know how it is, man. Haaland's a machine, man. You can't hate on him. He's a monster. If you want to reach that level, you need somebody that can do what he's doing. Maybe if it's not 50 goals, but, 25, 30 goals. That's how you're going to bridge that gap with a goal scorer. So we'll have to see, people. That's the end of the show. Let's get into a few of your comments, and then we'll round up, people. Over 3,500 of you in the chat. People saying I'm living on cloud nine. Let me tell you one thing. I'm genuinely asking the comments. Is it unrealistic if Harry Kane's out of contract next season for Arsenal to offer him a deal with no transfer fee? Why would Arsenal sit there next year and go, oh, Harry Kane's out of contract. Oh, let's let Man United have him for nothing. Or let's let, Chelsea go for him. Why would Arsenal not offer a contract to an out of contract Harry Kane next summer? I wouldn't understand why they wouldn't. Offer him 400 grand a week. If we're the closest team to City, City have got Haaland. Liverpool have got Nunez and Jota and Gakpo. Chelsea are rebuilding. It depends where they're at. Mbappe could be at Madrid. We should be offering him a contract. He might say no. He might say, listen, I played for Spurs. I can't go to Arsenal. But I want to see Arsenal offer Harry Kane a contract next summer when he is a free agent. People say Spurs through and through, but I'm not sure if he is. I'm not sure if he is. He is while he plays for them. Let's see how Spurs through and through he is next season when he's out of contract. Yeah, he's going to need security, I tell you that. But I don't think that's unrealistic out of contract. He might say no. But for me, to bridge that gap, get that goal scorer, put pressure. I've got Jesus on the background, this side. I love him. I think he's a great player. But he's just not that machine yet in front of goal. This season, Gabriel Jesus needs to go from 11 goals to 17, 18, 19, 20 goals, in my opinion. I know that he was injured for 3 months, and that definitely played, against him. I think he would have scored more goals, but he needs to be scoring more goals. Hopefully, he doesn't get any kind of major injury. Real to the Bone said, Big C, love the way you interact with the community. It's like we are friends on the block holding a chat about football. Community settings, people. See you net. Big up, people. That's all it is. It's interaction. I'm actually half laid back in this chair when I'm doing this show. I'm chilling. I'm chilling with the people then, man. We're relaxed. Simon, big up with the super chat. Kane would win as the title and finish off all Tottenham fans. I'm telling you. People in the comments might think this is unrealistic. I'm going to tweet it out. I'm going to see what they're saying on Twitter because you know what Twitter's like. I'm going to say, if Harry Kane's contract expires next summer, should Arsenal be offering him a deal to sign for Arsenal? I think we should. Sol Campbell part 2. And African Giant, have to wait for your big bros to offer first. You lot make sure you're back in Europe next year first before you make them offers. I can't lie. But Poch obviously was a big part of him at his time at Tottenham. Curtis Daichi said, can we have Dominic Calvert-Lewin? I mean, listen, Wasim, you could sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin if you got the money, but unfortunately I can't sell him to you. And the reason is he's on the catwalk at the moment wearing a skirt. And he's injured for the next 15 years anyway, so there's no point buying him. So, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he'll be no good for your title charge, mate. He's injured every week, so nothing I can do, I'm afraid, Wasim. Nothing I can do at all. So there we go. We'll end with the Daichi, people. We'll end with the Daichi. Big up to Wasim. Big up to everyone locked in. Hope you have a great Friday. If we get any big transfer news, I'll go live or I'll put up a pre-recorded video. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do a Saturday one. Why not? Like the video. Subscribe on your way out. And I will see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.